Hey fam, how's it going? And in this deck request, we have Millennium Crush. Let's go. For the skill card, we have Millennium Eye. And then for the monster lineup, we've got 3 Giant Rat, 2 Great Phantom Thief, 1 Exploder Dragon, 1 Exiled Force, 1 Zambina, and 1 Jinzo. And then for spells, we have 1 Book of Moon, 2 Galaxy Cyclone, 2 Creature Swap, and 2 Hammer Shot. And then for traps, we have 3 Mind Crush, 2 Wall of Disruption, and 1 Psychic Shockwave. How to win / strategies. Now, in order to play this deck, it's very simple, fam. All we need to do is just acquire information on the opponent's hand, and we do that through the skill Millennium Eye. And then once we have that information, we're gonna hopefully open up with Mind Crush, and then there you go. We'll just decimate the opponent's hand through Mind Crush. But wait, the opponent might be thinking, all right, Mind Crush is done, the worst is over. But here's the thing, fam, we are going to surprise the opponent one more time, and that's through Giant Rat. We're gonna make the opponent think that we're playing a Giant Rat toolbox deck. So in order for us to really capitalize on the opponent or crush the opponent, get it? Anyways, so what we're gonna do is we are going to have Giant Rat and Creature Swap, one of my all-time favorites because it's basically change of heart. So we're going to Creature Swap, and look what the opponent had. Oh my, a perfectly ultimate great moth. You don't see those nowadays. So now that we've Creature Swap, we're going to enter the battle, attack the Giant Rat, and then we get Giant Rat's effect off, and look who came out. The Great Phantom Thief. For those of you that don't know what Great Phantom Thief does, why don't we read it real quick? It reads, if this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, declare 1 card name, look at your opponent's hand, and if you do, discard all cards with that name in their hand. So, as you can see, fam, the key thing here is we get to look at the opponent's hand after we've declared a card name, but in theory, your memory should still be sharp, so you should still recall what was in your opponent's hand. And from that point on, you should be able to maneuver and win the duel. So as you can see, the tactic of gaining information on the opponent is very deadly because we're able to figure out what's our next move and what they're gonna do most likely. But another key thing to note is that the opponent knows nothing about what we have. So we have an element of surprise there. So when you combine the two of information gathering and the element of surprise, I say that's a recipe for success, a recipe for winning. And here's another thing to note, fam. With this deck, you always want to go first because you want to potentially open up with Mind Crush and be set up for when your opponent does their turn. And here's the thing, in speed duels right now, there's really no incentive to go first. Everyone's gonna go second because they get that extra draw. So in this deck's case, going first is, hey, a-okay, no problem at all. Card analysis, the skill card Millennium Eye. This was what the deck request was for, so you know me, your speed duel bro, I'm gonna work with what you gave me. But in all honesty, I really do think it's cool that we get to see what the opponent has at the start of the duel. That's so dope. And very fitting of Pegasus and his Millennium Eye. And then we play the 3 Giant Rat. The reason why we have Giant Rat in here is because the Great Phantom Thief, which is our key element of surprise, is also Earth. So it just works out. And I'm pretty sure you all are familiar with the Giant Rat toolbox. It's a very effective engine, very resilient. And then we play the 2 Great Phantom Thief. We're only playing 2 in here because I felt like 3 was too much because alone, Great Phantom Thief isn't that great. You know, it's kind of weak at 1,000 attack and defense. So really, we just need to pick and choose where the Great Phantom Thief is gonna launch its attack, its surprise attack on the opponent's hand. And then we play the 1 Exploder Dragon, 1 Exiled Force, and 1 Zambina. Now this, I feel like not much explanation is needed because again, these are all good targets for Giant Rat. And then we play the 1 Jinzo. Now the reason why we're playing the 1 Jinzo is because we need to be able to deal with the opponent's back row so that the Great Phantom Thief and all our other monsters can go about their business worry-free. And then we play the one Book of Moon, just a good card to have. Book of Moon is universal utility at its finest, and we're playing it in just one because that's what's part of the limited list. You know, we have 2 Wall of Disruption here, which we will get to. And then we play the 2 creature swap, and you know me, as long as there's a floater, you know I'm going to find room for creature swap. But in this deck, it's particularly more effective because we have Great Phantom Thief to go with the Giant Rat toolbox. And plus, like I said, creature swap is change of heart. Who wouldn't take the opportunity to take the opponent's monster forever? And then we play the 2 Hammer Shot. Now, what I like about Hammer Shot in this deck is that our monsters are fairly on the weaker attacking side, so Hammer Shot's gonna go off nice and clean. But if the opponent swarms the field too much, like they've got 2 monsters, why not Hammer Shot one of them away and then creature swap the other and gain even more advantage? And then we play the 2 Galaxy Cyclone. This is again to just help deal with the opponent's back row. So when you accompany the Galaxy Cyclone with the Jinzo, I say we have a pretty effective method here of dealing with the opponent's back row. And then we play the 3 Mind Crush, which was also part of the main part of the deck request, you know, because the subscriber had told me Millennium Crush. So it's going to be mandatory that we play the 3 Mind Crush because we want to open up with it. And then we're playing the 2 Wall of Disruption. The reason why we're kind of favoring Wall of Disruption this time around is because our monsters are weak, and if we don't open up very well, we hope Wall of Disruption will kind of keep the opponent at bay while we try to build up our resources or set up our side of the field. And then we play the 1 Psychic Shockwave. Now this is just to help also deal again with the opponent's back row, and this is like another hidden surprise factor so that when the opponent does activate a trap, well, we just brought out a very strong Jinzo. And then the rest of our monsters should be able to go about their business like I said earlier. And now fam, it's time for the moment of truth. Where does this deck rank on the power scale? In my humble opinion, this deck is casual. Now, the reason why I say it's casual, fam, is because we have to open up with Mind Crush first turn. So, meaning if we don't open up with Mind Crush, we might be in for a rough time because the longer a duel will last, the tendency for the opponent for them to play their hand all the way. So meaning like they're going to use all the cards in their hand. So there's not going to be much left for us to pick apart. So this deck's play style is kind of like saying Mind Crush first turn or bust. But the good thing is we do have the Giant Rat toolbox in this deck, and as you all know, this engine is very resilient at holding off the opponent and very crafty enough that it's good enough to turn the tables on the opponent to even the odds or just win the duel altogether. So all hope is not lost, fam, just so you know. We're still gonna put up a fight even if we don't open up ideally with Mind Crush. And the fact that we get to see what the opponent has and they don't get to see what we have, oh, it's a very good feeling. You should try it. So there you go, fam. That was the deck request. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please feel free to hit the like button because it helps me out a lot. And if you haven't already subscribed to me, your Speed Duel bro, you're more than welcome to subscribe because 2 things. 1, I always play to win, and I'll teach you how to win. And no matter what the power level of the deck is, be it casual, semi-competitive, or competitive, and no matter what the deck request is, we're gonna do our best to win this thing. And 2, if you love speed duels, there's the heart, I'm sure you'll love me too, your Speed Duel bro. Alright fam, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.